Chaik said to his wife, "Imagine if you walked onto that stage without a dress, just as you are.
Raw, real,
Unfiltered. People wouldn't be able to look away. You would be the talk of the entire city. Imagine the headlines. Bold singer redefines music with daring performance. You'd be unstoppable." Ifunea paused. She couldn't believe what she was hearing from his husband. But before I continue the story, kindly subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell by click on all, to be first person to watch my video. In the bustling heart of Lagos, under the neon lights and the watchful gaze of towering billboards, lived a young woman named Ifunanya. She was blessed with a voice that could capture hearts and make souls tremble. Ifunanya's singing had been her solace since childhood, and she dreamt of one day being known for her art across the entire continent. Her husband, Chaik, was a sharp-witted man with dreams just as ambitious as hers. He was fiercely intelligent, with a knack for understanding people and the dark intricacies of fame. But Chaik's methods were often unconventional, and his love for Ifunanya was tangled with his thirst for recognition. He wanted her to be a star, and he would stop at nothing to make that happen. Ifunanya and Chaik had been inseparable since their days at university, where she would sing at campus events, and he would always be in the front row, cheering the loudest. They married young, both ready to chase their dreams together. Yet as the years went by, Chaik's ambitions began to overshadow her voice, and he started crafting plans for her success, plans that often felt suffocating. After years of performing at small events and open mic nights, Ifunanya's career had plateaued. She felt trapped in the endless loop of obscurity. One evening, as they sat by their window watching the city's nightlife, Chaik turned to her with a gleam in his eye. "Ife, I have an idea," he said, his tone almost feverish. Ifunanya looked up, intrigued but cautious. She knew that gleam well. It was the same look he had when he had convinced her to dye her hair purple, wear outrageous costumes, and even sing controversial songs. His ideas were always extreme, but this time she could sense something even more radical brewing in his mind. Chaik leaned forward, eyes locked onto hers, his voice low and intense. "I've been thinking, Ife, everyone's doing the same thing out there. They're all singing, dressing up, looking pretty. But what if you did something completely different? What if you made a statement no one could ignore?" Ifunanya shifted uncomfortably in her seat. "What kind of statement are we talking about, Chaik?" she asked, her voice tinged with apprehension. She knew his ideas could sometimes border on the extreme, but she trusted him. He had been her biggest supporter, and the one who encouraged her when no one else believed in her talent. "Hear me out," he began, his words coming out rapidly as if he couldn't contain his excitement. "Imagine if you walked onto that stage without a dress, just as you are.
raw, real,
Unfiltered. People wouldn't be able to look away. You would be the talk of the entire city. Imagine the headlines. Bold singer redefines music with daring performance. You'd be unstoppable. Ife." Ifunanya's heart pounded at his words. The very thought of appearing in public without a dress was terrifying, and yet, in some twisted way, Chaik's vision appealed to a part of her. She had spent her life wanting to be seen, to be heard, to make a difference. Was this the way to finally break free from the shadows? "Chaik, I don't know," she stammered, gripping the edges of her chair. "It's risky. What if people think I'm just trying to get attention? I want to be known for my voice, not just my appearance." But Chaik shook his head, smiling as if he had anticipated her response. "Ife, you're thinking too small. Fame isn't just about talent. It's about impact. People remember boldness, and this city needs something unforgettable. Your voice will carry the message, but your image, that's what will make them remember you." They spent hours that night going back and forth, with Chaik painting vivid pictures of fame, fortune, and adoration, while Ifunanya wrestled with the idea, torn between her love for him and her own principles. The words hung heavy in the room, seeping into her dreams as she fell asleep with her mind a whirl of doubts and possibilities. Days passed, and Ifunanya tried to carry on with her routine. But Chaik's idea haunted her. At every rehearsal, every performance, the thought lingered in the back of her mind. She could feel herself slipping into a state of indecision, wondering if maybe, just maybe, he was right. One evening, while gazing at herself in the mirror, she allowed herself to imagine it. She pictured walking onto a stage, stripped of all barriers, every eye in the crowd fixed on her with a mixture of awe and shock. She imagined how powerful that would feel, how unstoppable. The idea stirred something within her she couldn't ignore. When she finally voiced her decision to Chaik, he embraced her with pride. "This is it, Ife," he whispered, his voice brimming with excitement. "This is the moment you become unforgettable." They planned everything meticulously. Chaik arranged for the venue, a popular spot known for its glamorous events, and spread whispers throughout the city, creating a mysterious buzz around an unprecedented performance. Soon, Ifunania's show was the talk of the town, though no one knew exactly what to expect. As the day approached, Ifunania found herself wavering. The enormity of what she was about to do weighed on her. Could she really go through with it? She began to wonder if she was trading her dignity for a fleeting moment of fame. But every time doubt crept in, Chaik was there to reassure her, to remind her of their shared dreams. Finally, the night of the performance arrived. The venue was packed with people, journalists, influencers, fans, and curious onlookers, all eagerly awaiting the mysterious singer who was rumored to be doing something never before seen. The room buzzed with anticipation. Backstage, Ifunania's heart pounded as she took deep breaths, trying to calm herself. She was draped in a thin silk robe, her nerves making her hands tremble. Chaik was beside her, his hands on her shoulders, steady and confident. "This is your moment, Ife," he said softly. "Own it. Show them what you're made of." As the lights dimmed and her name was announced,